Jeez. All right. Welcome to the third part.
Welcome to the third part of this. Right now, you're listening to Pokemon Remix, Pokemon Yellow opening by Every Game Ever. And that's all one word.
So, yeah,
we're finally covering Pokemon Yellow.
Oh,
the last of the Generation 1 games.
And then, okay, well, what is this game? What is this game, you ask?
Weird. Well, to start, it's a game. It's an odd version of Pokemon Red and Blue. And instead of the original 3 starters, you're automatically given Pikachu as your starter. This Pikachu follows you around in the overworld. It has an invisible friendship meter that you can check by interacting with it and reading its expression. Pikachu, whose affection actually doesn't do anything, except for allowing you to get Bulbasaur at one point in the game, but
yeah,
I mean, it's just a cosmetic thing, really.
Yeah.
But all sorts of things increase and decrease Pikachu's affection, like using potions on it increases its affection.
Even if it's
at full health, you could just spam potions, not use them up, and get it to max affection, and with no effort, or if you wanted to. And depositing it in the box makes it mad.
And attempting, I think also
attempting to release it makes it really bad.
I think that's really about it.
Yeah.
And about that's really it in terms of the introduction.
Now, what about the game's development?
Well, there's not actually a whole lot to cover. And development, and first began development and after the completion of the Japanese-only version of Pokemon Blue, which allowed the Japanese followed the Japanese-only version, and the Red and Green.
It was made to cash in on the anime's popularity.
I
right?
think.
I mean,
it doesn't really say that, but the anime wasn't even out. By that. It came out the following spring.
Into the anime specifically.
Yeah.
It was made to tie into the anime. Okay. You have your very own Pikachu that hates being in its Pokeball that follows you around. How is your partner Pokemon? It also can't evolve, just like in the anime.
The leaked source code for Yellow, a few mentioned. However, this wasn't the only game we were going to get
the leaked source code
includes a few mentions of a seemingly never-made companion game that would have been called Pokemon Pink. This includes Pocket Monsters Pink and Yellow, as well as having Pokemon type _type having the options Yellow Package and Pink Package, although Pink Package has no effect on the game.
Which implies that we would have gotten a counterpart version with either Clefairy or Jigglypuff as the mascot. Clefairy, the argument for Clefairy is that it was the originally planned mascot for the series,
and also the Game Boy camera. The Game Boy camera features a border. It features an unused border. With Pikachu and Clefairy.
And there's also the fact at one of the mangas,
the first
ever Pokemon manga starred Clefairy as the main Pokemon as well. The argument for Pikachu is, well, simply that Pikachu is a more prominent. It was more. The argument for Jigglypuff is that Jigglypuff had a presence in the anime like Pikachu did, albeit not as big of a one.
I
think it probably would have been Pikachu, Clefairy, Pikachu for anime, Clefairy for manga.
Yeah, I think that. Interestingly enough, there would have also been 74 of the original 151 had their Japanese anime as recorded and digitized, but none of them made it into the final game. cites Pikachu. This is very likely due to the poor fidelity of the converted clips and lack of space to fit them all in.
I believe one of the developers stated that the Pikachu that they sounded horrible.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Either way, Pokemon Yellow released on. Either way, Pokemon Yellow released on September 12th, 1998 in Japan, and Australia on September 3rd, 1999, and October 19th, 1999 in North America, and June 16th, 2000 in Europe.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Wow, it took nearly 2 years for Europe to get it.
The game is also just called Pokemon Pikachu in Japan edition in Japan.
And but here in the West, since we speak English, we're calling the game Pokemon Yellow, since that's
Pokemon Yellow Special Pikachu edition.
That's probably what most of our viewer base knows it as.
Yeah.
And what we know it as well.
So I guess all that really covers development.
And so let's get into the actual changes that were made in this game. Okay. Right now you're listening to Pokemon Remix Pikachu's Beach, Surfing Pikachu theme, also by Every Game Ever.
All right.
Now, if you're wondering where this theme plays, it's the.
It's one of the.
I'm gonna go get some water. Okay. We need some water.
It's the theme that plays during the Surfing Pikachu minigame that you could get from transferring the Surfing Pikachu from Pokemon Stadium.
There's some. Yeah, there are a few changes. Is now. Including front sprites being updated, and once again, and however the back sprites are completely the same.
Oh.
We apologize for this.
What?
We're recording a video.
Okay. Alright, so some aesthetic changes include trainer sprites being redone, such as Brock and Misty. Now, Blaine now has a different overworld sprite. This time, clearly showing him wearing sunglasses. Is all the policemen and were recast as Officer Jenny's, and all nurses were recast as Nurse Joy, always attended by a Chansey. The Pokemon Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Sandshrew, Oddish, Jigglypuff, and Clefairy received new overworld sprite. Pikachu also received a unique icon on the party screen. In Kanto is slightly redesigned a second time, featuring new different designs for doors, signposts, windows, and other minor elements. And for Western releases, this game is enhanced on the Game Boy Color, providing color palette that changes as the player switches locations. Playing on a Super Game Boy, the palettes for it's used for the Pokemon sprites are lighter. In the Japanese version of Yellow, the character, the player character has as a Super Famicom in his bedroom, as opposed to Famicom in the Japanese versions of Red, Green, and Blue. However, in every international version, in all Gen 1 games, it's the player has a SNES instead. That's some of the changes.
Now let's go over a Pokemon, shall we?
Alright, well, I guess obviously starting with Pikachu.
Yep, this game's mascot Pokemon. Now Pikachu and Raichu are going to get separate ratings, but we'll rank them back to back.
Yeah, Pikachu, okay.
Not going to beat around the bush here, Pikachu kind of sucks. Nowadays, of course, it can use the light ball. And in Gen 7 it had unique Z moves.
Oh God.
But its stats are absolutely atrocious in Gen 1. Its speed was the only stat that went above 55. Your speed was 90, but nothing... Yeah, its speed was 90, but nothing else went above 55.
So, okay, that doesn't sound too bad, right? Right? I mean, okay, yeah, that's pretty bad, but... I mean, what about... No, the problem is that the first gym...
and the first gym is a rock-type gym.
You're completely...
and Pikachu doesn't get anything to counter Brock.
Yeah. It learns... I mean, I guess it changes that it learns Thunderbolt by level up now.
But you're still probably going to have to... you're still probably going to have to rely on using a Butterfree, either a Nidoran
or
and a beat Brock.
Alright, Mankey.
Alright, Mankey is catchable.
On Route 22.
Do now. We will go over that shortly.
Pikachu just...
It sucks.
It sucks.
There's no beating around the bush. Gen 1 Pikachu sucks.
Well,
The only reason it got use on Noah's team was because it was his only electric type, because he limited it himself to not using another electric type alongside it. We wouldn't have to rate it on its own if it could evolve into Raichu.
Oh, it can't. And you can't catch another Pikachu.
Yeah.
In fact,
obviously, what?
actually, even weirder, every other trainer that used a Pikachu in the original games
no longer uses one. The only member of the line still intact in the game, other than the player's Pikachu, is Lieutenant Surge's Raichu.
What the what? Huh?
Which is now his only Pokemon.
Yeah, we'll go over that. Yeah, we'll go
over some gym leader team changes later on. As for Brock, he has the same team with a couple. With slightly different, with very slightly altered movesets.
Actually, what the fuck?
They removed Defense Curl from Geodude, leaving it with only Tackle, and added Bind to Onyx.
They're also now 2 levels lower than.
And they're also now 2 levels lower to compensate for the fact that there's no way you could have a start. We could compensate for the fact that your starter can't just tear through Brock.
Yeah, that's the first start. Boy, that's a sign of things to come, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, Pikachu's rating.
Let's give it. What do you want to give it?
I'll give it a 6.
6 average?
What? No.
4. Yeah, that seems more like it.
Raichu. Now, as for Raichu's
stats are actually good. Unfortunately, it still doesn't have much moveset variety, though.
Yeah, it can be useful.
Oh, at the very least.
At least it can actually deal damage if you could use it.
In yellow?
Fuck.
I'll give Raichu a 7. Its stats are pretty good, but its moveset isn't anything special.
Don't worry, Raichu gets better.
Both Raichu and Pikachu, who because of its utility, got way better in future generations. But as of Gen 1, Pikachu's bad and Raichu's just good. Raichu's just somewhat decent.
Yeah, I think I should probably mention this. But your rival is now a little different. Blue is now a little different. And instead of a normal starter, you actually, you were going to receive this.
In game, Professor Oak says this was the starter for you.
But
your rival gets an Eevee.
That doesn't teach you. That doesn't really work.
They kind of removed the thing teaching you about type effectiveness. Granted, the first battle didn't really do that anyways, because it's still weird.
These aren't really. Yeah, not. He now has an Eevee, but it evolves depending on how you do in the first.
There's 2 battles. How you perform in the first 2 battles.
If you lose in lose against the rival the first battle,
if you lose one of the battles and win in the other,
if you lose one of the battles and lose or skip if the second one, if the optional one, it becomes a Flareon. If you lose against the first battle, it becomes Vaporeon, and if you win against both, it becomes a Jolteon.
And since the battles aren't that hard, we're going to assume the rival has a Jolteon in most of this.
But boy, your rival is quite different this time. It was a very different arsenal this time.
I kind of like the idea that if you beat your rival with an electric type, he evolves his Eevee into his own electric type.
Such as instead of a Pidgey, he has a Spearow.
Oh, in this game, as a reference to how Spearow antagonized Ash in the first episode.
I guess that's why.
Probably.
I oddly enough, he also
in the third battle he has both a Sandshrew and Rattata.
The fourth battle
has the same team but higher
except
leveled.
Rattata is not evolved this time.
It's the same, but the Pokemon are higher leveled. Notably, Rattata's not evolved in this time.
And then this is where his core is assembled.
His type core is assembled. Well, Fearow and Sandshrew are constant, but he has either Shelter, Vulpix, and Jolteon on Shelter, Flareon, and Magnemite, or Vaporeon on Vulpix and Magnemite.
Yeah. Also, yeah.
Well, actually, his Eevee's not even evolved in this battle, but this kind of hints as to what it's going to evolve into.
Meanwhile,
it actually does evolve in the next battle.
And completely throws out Sandshrew.
Yeah.
Throws out Fearow.
Yeah, as well as... does his water type evolve as well? Does his Shelter evolve as well in this battle?
Yes.
Yeah,
and he adds a Kadabra.
Yeah, his type core all evolve on this, all in the fifth battle, as well as Sandshrew. He also replaces Fearow with Kadabra.
And now he'll have.
And
then he'll.
Before the league, it's the same team but higher leveled, and he added an Execute. And as the champion, it's the same team, but Execute evolved, and obviously everything's stronger.
Yeah, that's very weird. They changed. They fucking altered the rival teams.
Yeah,
it for that. That's some explanation. So speaking of a counter to Brock,
let's go over the Mankey line. Fine. Now, in order to counter Brock, Noah actually caught and used a Mankey on his team in yellow.
Because it got access to low kick.
What were you going to use instead again?
Oh, actually, I didn't realize I didn't have something.
No, you kicked a team member off for this on the plans.
I kicked off Graveler for that.
Yeah, he was going to use Graveler, but he decided on Primeape instead.
Primeape is it was a really strong and fast Pokemon.
Its attack and speed are high. Its other stats are average. It's a pretty alright moveset for a fighting type, with normal, fighting, and rock and ground.
Yeah.
No ground. No, and rock and ground.
Yeah.
With normal, fighting, rock and ground.
It gets low kick because it gets low kick at level 9, which behaves very differently in Gen 1.
It's easy to use it as your counter to Brock.
It's a pretty solid team member.
Overall.
It also gets access to Karate Chop, which, albeit it is a normal type move in Gen 1.
Does it have a high crit rate?
Yes, it has a high
crit rate, so you'll land crits with it very often. Seriously, why was Karate Chop a normal move?
This is a really good Pokemon.
I give it a 9.
Yeah.
It's not quite up there with the insane overpowered stuff. But it's not. But it's definitely a very good team member with a few downsides.
Actually,
Misty also has.
Misty's team is.
Misty also has the same team,
even
closer, even down to the levels in this version. The exception being that she adds a new move, Because section
With Harden is
actually
added.
mean that she added it Harden to her Starmie's moveset.
Yeah, not much of a difference.
Though in our experience, Starmie doesn't tend to even use Harden. It just tends to try to kill you as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, alright. Yeah, level up learn sets and TM compatibility are slightly altered. For example, Charizard, for example, can now learn Fly via HMO2.
Yeah.
Yep, you heard me.
Charizard couldn't fly in Red, Blue, and Green.
What?
Red, Green, Blue. So.
Yeah.
And anyway. And what else about the, what Pokemon's next?
What Pokemon is next? After, yeah. Abra has now been moved to Route 5. As opposed to being on Route 24.
Or, so you can catch it, well, you have to wait a bit to catch it, don't you?
Yeah, you just have to make it through. You just have to clear Nugget Bridge.
No. So you have to clear Nugget Bridge first before catching it.
Abra, unfortunately, Abra is...
Before it evolves, it's god awful.
Was it?
But level up, it only learns teleport, too.
Yep. Albeit,
It can actually learn some moves by TM.
yeah, for a minute. Maggie evolves at level 28.
Yeah, Pikachu evolves at a Thunderstone, but not in this game.
And Abra evolves at level 16 into Kadabra. And via trade, aid in Alakazam. I actually used the Kadabra.
On this game?
And so Alakazam... oh yeah, I think I said...
Alakazam is one of the most disgusting Pokemon in Generation 1.
Sure, it only really gets Psychic. Which only really learns Psychic, especially.
But its sheer speed and special attack allow it to one-shot nearly
Sheer
anything.
speed and special, it able to one-shot anything.
And nothing resists Psychic in this game.
And yeah, nothing resists Psychic.
And nothing resists Psychic in Gen 1.
Except itself.
And except itself.
Sure, albeit I only used the Kadabra because,
Oh, but even then it was able to destroy stuff.
Of what?
But by just spamming Psychic.
Alakazam, the Psychic type is just fucking broken in Gen 1.
And Alakazam's no exception to that.
Alright, what would you rate it?
10.
10, yeah, the motherfucker with an IQ of 5,000. And Alakazam is usually a staple on teams when if I get the chance, and especially.
Are any of these other Pokemon encounterable at this point?
Oh, I didn't reorder them.
No, we didn't. But are any of these other Pokemon encounterable at this point?
Well, Drowsy is.
Yeah, you can also catch Drowsy around here. Which is another Psychic type, albeit not as good as Alakazam.
Well, Hypno.
Yeah, oh, by the way, Kadabra, Abra evolves into Kadabra at level 16 and again. Okay. Drowsy at level 26 evolves into Hypno. Both are pure Psychic.
Hypno's special stat is 115.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's like Alakazam, but slower. And it has decent physical attack, too.
Yeah. It also gets poison gas.
So it's like Alakazam, but but balanced out a little.
Like, yeah.
No, it doesn't achieve the same level of brokenness, but given that it's still a Psychic type in Gen 1, and still doesn't have any bad stats, I'm still going to give it a 9.
Yeah, alright.
Because this thing is still really good. Specifically before the physical special split.
Also, oh yeah, I'll give it a 9.
Yeah.
Now I've also forgot to mention. Also on Route 5, you can find
Jigglypuff. What's its special stat in Gen 1? The Wigglytuff, I mean.
Which
evolves into Wigglytuff with a Moonstone.
85, 75 actually.
75.
No, 50.
50?
Yep.
Jeez.
Yeah, this is...
Is its attack higher in Gen 1? Is it still 70 in Gen 1?
Yeah, it's 70 in Gen 1.
Has high HP and an attack stat of 70.
But that's...
And that's it.
There's literally any other normal type.
It could do its job better. It gets all these special moves, but with an attack stat, but with a special stat of 50, it's not going to be doing much with them.
Yeah. Wigglytuff just... I always see Wigglytuff as just the worst Clefairy.
Which is pretty accurate, honestly. It's just not very good.
Yeah.
I'll give it 5.
Yeah. Yep, this is before, or it could get it before abilities, so it didn't really, so it couldn't, this is before abilities, and, you know, it actually had a special stat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just sucks.
You can also encounter Onyx.
Actually, after, in Rock Tunnel.
Which is after Surge?
Yeah.
Speaking of Lieutenant Surge.
Wow, you want to know what Lieutenant Surge has in...
You know what they did to Lieutenant Surge?
Remember how he had 3 Pokemon in...
you remember how he had Voltorb, or Pikachu, and Raichu in the original? Well, now he shot us as a Raichu. I mean, it's 4 levels higher, level 28. But how much did they change its moveset? They replaced they got rid of Thunder Shock but added Mega Kick and Mega Punch to its moves.
Two very inaccurate moves. Growl. Yeah, they added Mega Punch and Mega Kick. Yeah.
So really, if you just bring a Diglett or a Dugtrio in here,
yeah,
you're and then just and then and hope for to miss with the highly inaccurate Mega moves.
Yeah.
Then he really isn't that threatening.
What the yeah, they nerfed Lieutenant Surge.
They actually, honestly, I consider this a nerf.
But yeah, after that you can find.
Onyx.
Yes. Onyx.
Onyx. Oh, this giant rock snake thing that Brock uses.
It only deals a lot of damage.
With an attack stat of 45.
It's the same as a Pidgey.
Which is the same as a Pidgey. Its speed is 70, and that's its second highest stat. Its highest is its defense
at 160. Its special.
All of its other stats are garbage.
Its special is 30, and it has 35 HP.
Yeah. It's with but its defense doesn't really matter with it because with its low special and HP, it won't. On Bubble Beam will take it out.
Yeah, it's 4 times weak to water and grass.
Even a Mega Drain.
And yeah, Onyx just oh my. Oh sure, its moveset is probably passable.
Moveset's passable by Gen 1
but
it can't even do anything with it.
And Onyx just blows.
It's not even an effective wall.
Oh, Onyx just sucks.
Oh, why'd they even bother giving it speed? This is just a baffling, awful Pokemon.
Yep.
I think this is a 2.
Yeah, this Onyx sucks.
See, and that's good maybe only as a switch in on a physical attack we predict.
Yeah, maybe next